So one thing we use an analogy of hats. What hat do I have on? Do I have an ownership hat on, an employee hat, a family hat? And sometimes family members talk to each other and they don't realize what hat the other person has on, and it leads to miscommunication. So let me ask about you and your father. Do you ever, how do you and your father interact as, kind of the overall majority owner and president, and how do you interact as father-son? And do you ever get those crossed?
Well, they definitely, it's all mixed together for us. We talk probably 4 times a week. He's here quite a bit, especially during the season. Has a condo here in Clayton. And my mom travels with him a lot, which is nice. So I get to see them. They come in and see my kids and so forth. But they do bounce around a lot. And I think that's one of the things that's probably most difficult for him, is that even at 73, I guess, and my mom, and that they continue to need to travel for what they want to do, a lot. So they do that, though, and that's a sacrifice that they make, and I know I'm very appreciative. I probably don't tell them enough, but we talk through, 4 times a week, maybe 5. I would say the conversations usually start with a list of issues that we have going on. I have 5 things on my list. How many do you have? I got 3. All right, let's pound them out. And then we get through most of those or all of them, and then start talking about, what's up with your golf game, how you playing, I'll ask him, about his most recent boondoggle to somewhere playing golf or something, and we have that shared passion there about golf, which is great. We'll take a trip together to play golf once a year, which is always nice, where hopefully the Cardinal talk is at a minimum. To the extent the spouses are involved, they try to make it to a minimum. But more often than not, it's going through a bunch of things and how to deal with them. Like he's here today for, we're announcing our Cardinals Hall of Fame class that's going to expand our Hall of Fame beyond just the guys that are in Cooperstown and the voting and all that. So today we're doing that at the pregame, and we'll both be involved. So we, the last couple of days, been talking about how we want to do that. And then I would say in terms of issues, I hate to be boring about it, but we're just never really at cross words with each other because, I know my lane. I don't sit there perusing the waiver wires and go over to Mo's office and say, I got to get this guy from the Tigers, or, At some point, I think I need to develop probably a little more baseball experience. I've tried to do that along the way and pick things up, particularly from my father and Mo. And I think Mo has a desire to pick up additional knowledge and experience on the business side. And so because we both have that desire, I think it allows for each to be open about things and sharing and, go to lunch once in a while and understand how they're approaching things. So I view it as a collaborative really effort between the 3 of us on baseball and business issues, with Mo and me really on those 2 lanes, and my father managing them both. And again, it comes down to the fact that he's got both the experience in both. And I can't tell you how impressive it is that somebody of that business acumen also has a deep knowledge of baseball. And it's just so rare. And I think you see owners that may not have that background, but they hire somebody from the industry who has the background, which is great. And that's another way to do it, and it can work. But, when you've got somebody that really is in it for the long haul and understands business and baseball and realizes that it has to be a healthy, ongoing organization from a business standpoint, but that for the most part the job is to reinvest and to put a winner on the field. There's that beautiful balance between short-term and long-term decision-making at all times. And that's really the balance that is the secret weapon of this organization is, wanting to win today and making moves to do that. And once in a while, you roll the dice at the expense of tomorrow a little bit, which we've done. But also never go all in any one year, because baseball, even if you go all in, maybe your probability of winning goes from 30%. I'm talking about winning the whole thing. Maybe it goes from 15% to 18%. Well, you still have a chance to win. So always look out into the future and don't mortgage everything to win this year, because if you just get there enough times into the playoffs with the long-term strategy, the sustainable strategy, sometimes you're going to get a run that pays off, and we've seen it. So I think the model and the approach is sound for hopefully continued success.